You know that song, You Can't Go Home? And it's not just that one. What's the one I'm actually thinking of? Like, she's like, if I could just... I wouldn't take nothing but a memory or something. Talking about if she could go back to her childhood home and just walk inside and see it and all of that. I would leave with nothing but a memory. And, you know, so because I took a job back at my old school, the one I graduated from. And, I mean, nobody would have thought that old Donna would ever miss school. Donna hated school. Okay, hold on. Let me fix that. I know, that was not... I loved being at school, and I loved being away from home. I loved feeling like I knew what I was doing. You know, it was comfortable. Yeah, I get it. And, but then I worked there as well for 10 years after I graduated, and then I left for like 7 years, and then, you know, I accepted a job back. And so my house that I grew up in, you know, from 12 up, is right over there. And every day I see it, and so just every day, I just kind of look over, and it's that if I could just go home. Like, at first my brain's like, okay, mom's right over there and I can just go right over there. But she's not. She passed in 2010. So, yeah. And I sat here thinking about it, and just about how we're all on our phones. We're all on something. We're all doing something constantly, whether it's scrolling, playing video games, trying to talk to friends, chasing something that seems like it's never coming, and chasing what constantly eludes us. Yeah. And it's so sad because we're not present, and we weren't present then, even when we were there. Some of us. Some of you were like, and you were probably the people that a lot of us envied. It's like, oh, you were cheerleading, or you were playing sports. Like, you had your things going on. You were present. You were doing it. Or you seemed like you were. Like, I did things eventually, but I was always in my head envious, jealous, angry, mad, busy, feeling so different and so set apart. And of course now I kind of realize a lot of that was just me making myself that. And also just the illusion, you know, whether it's money or this person dresses a certain way. And that doesn't mean that you have money. That's why I say that in two separate things. But just whatever. And like, now I feel like I look at my life and I go, I am very different. No matter what the reason or the purpose or the cause or the root, that's coming up a lot, the root of it is. I had lighthouses for a while. Lighthouses were coming up, and I kind of thought, okay, looking for that safe harbor / being the safe harbor, being the light, being the guidance. And I thought maybe that was the thing that we needed to get. I don't know, though. And then just recently, well, invincibility, literally in the same day, over and over again. Different either TV shows. Of course, I brought it up myself, talking about Deadpool, some videos I watched on YouTube. And so that has been kind of coming up with something else that I already know. Currently, I can't remember what it is. It's that whole threes thing where there's always the one you don't remember. But there was more, and like the lighthouse was from a little longer ago, like a week or two ago. But because I'm still trying to learn what I think is the message or is the point, letting go, that was one for sure this morning. Like, it was an ongoing theme. Like, first of all, videos I watched, and they weren't even all from like necessarily the same like 24-hour window or anything. It was, you know, that's how algorithms work, whatever. But I choose to believe it's God and he's trying to get through to us by any means. Whether that means I watch someone who calls themselves a tarot reader or an energy, I read energies and da-da-da-da, which I don't know how, I don't reckon, I guess, I don't know, to the point of being able yet to point out and identify, I guess, but like, I'll be like, oh, I don't know, something don't feel, or I can feel this, and of course, a lot of people will say it comes down to body language, and a lot of it does. Body language, tone of voice, but you can also hear and watch and see and, I want to say smell, a person when they're saying one thing, and maybe they're even practiced in trying to make their body language say that same thing. But I can honestly attest to being someone who goes, that's not true. There's something in whatever you just tried to sell me, whatever you wanted me to believe. And I can, even when I can't say, oh no, the actual issue is this. This is what you're actually, that's what I mean. I can't really pinpoint, I guess, necessarily that I know of. But I can go, oh, something wasn't right. Something wasn't 637. Something wasn't right there. Or, those didn't add up. That's probably going to be my new thing. They didn't add up. And I'm going to let the bottom fall out. That's the new one. I like that one. Let it go, let it all just fall apart, because that's what we really need to do. Some of us have been holding a lot of things together for a long time, or we feel like it's our responsibility to do that, or whatever, for whatever reason. There's trauma responses, you can name them. I'm not going to stand here and sit here and claim to know the reasons, but yeah. So I guess my new goal is focusing on really being present. I feel like it's going to come down to me leaving my phone at home. Now, don't get me wrong, I can have my phone on me. I've learned how to do this. And I don't know why I said it like that. And I kind of think back to the 90s / the early 2000s, for me, because, yeah, people were starting to have cell phones. We'll flip. Oh, believe me, I can still type that crap out. 1 2 3 1 1 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 1 1 1 2 1 2. Yeah. I have no idea what I just said, and it's not Morse code, if that's what you were thinking. If you don't know what it's like to use a flip phone to do text messages, go find one and try it. But I do. I was kind of just sitting here thinking about it, and my home, my family home, and all that, and just kind of going, why though? Like, why? Like, in a way we go, gosh, life is so long, this is taking forever, but really you're so lucky. And that's the thing, is that we are trying to rush through it. I think we're trying to rush to what we think is the better experience, when really we need to be going, what am I supposed to be learning in any given moment? In any given moment, what am I supposed to be learning? Not just like, oh, I'm supposed to be learning all this information from school. No, you're supposed to be learning about human interaction. You're supposed to be learning about how to cope, how to deal, how to follow rules, regulations, the waving, the bowing, the scraping. I was scared. That's a line from a movie. Yo, Cho-Cho. What up? We love a choo-choo. And like I said, I just feel like instead of learning those lessons often, myself included, really, because I was so busy watching from the outside, feeling like I wasn't a part or wasn't welcome, or maybe no one wants me here or whatever, that we didn't learn certain things. We didn't go through certain things when we should have, even when they happened when they did. We were just like, maybe we talked about it, maybe we didn't. Maybe we wrote about it in a journal or a diary. Maybe we talked to a counselor about it, but then that was it. Maybe that was as far as it went. Maybe we didn't learn, but I don't know why. Like, that's okay. Maybe we didn't learn something, and it's time to chill back and learn. All year, I know that, and by year I mean fiscal, I mean like a school year, since everything, last April, and then August, we started talking about the prospect of, coming back to work. And I was so scared, and I was so excited. I was like, dude, yeah, I need a new beginning. I need new things, a new scenery, a new environment. I need people. I miss certain humans, you know, because I don't want just any human, but I've already learned what that's like. But it sucks that we can't just go back because, like I always say, like everyone says, and we think it's just a cliche thing. No, they say it because they have experienced it. You will regret it. You will. Inevitably, it doesn't matter how bad it is, you will miss it. There is going to be a comfort in this moment, or in 20 years ago. There is a comfort. I remember my son was in the hospital. He was having hypocalcemic seizures. He ended up in the hospital. This was from about 14 years ago. He turns 14 in June. And I would have never thought in a million years that that would be a safe place that my mind would travel back to. Like, I just want to go back to that. But I have found that because when things go wrong, when things happen, when there's like a family emergency, when it's really feels real and big and serious, everything else, you let it go. You finally know what it's like to be present. You're hanging on to every second. You don't care about bills. You're not making decisions based on, am I going to lose my house? I'm not going to do it. I didn't do it. When my kid was in the hospital, I didn't care. I didn't care if I was going to come home homeless. I just didn't care. And I think that level of faith made life a little easier, believe it or not. But also just that level of stubbornness of, no, I'm going to be there with my kid. I'm going to be there with my kid. I don't care if I worked for the President of the United States. I'm going to be there with my kid. Period. And so for 7 days, I was there at the hospital, day in and day out. I didn't even leave the room or the floor until day 4 or 5, because for one, I knew I'd get lost. So I was just like, I don't want to. I'm going to get lost. I don't know how to get back here. Everything's so scary. And so I would just stay in the room. Then they started giving me like the meal passes. So I'd go down to the cafeteria, and then that was stressful, but like just till I learned the route. But anyway, there's so many times in my life I'm standing here and I'm in my head basically daydreaming, fantasizing, whatever it's called, going back to that, thinking how comfortable that was, almost like I miss it, and if I could just turn back time. And I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I did. I helped as much as I could when they let you help out with the kid if they're going to draw blood or whatever they're going to do. They're going to rewrap him. They're going to roll him over, whatever. I fed him. I held him. I changed him. I was there. I was up every hour, every 2 hours, every 15 minutes that the thing kept beeping because he moved a little. The pulse monitor thing, I was there. I was doing the work, but it's not work. It's my baby. That's my human. That's where I want to be. So, I don't know, but yeah, and it was retrograde, and I was like, okay, I know this is not the smartest idea, but I'm thankful for what I've learned from it, from going back to work, and I've definitely learned that going back to work isn't for me. We need to do what we love in this life, and it's really difficult to impossible, I feel like, after you've done that and you've spent some time by yourself / in your own world, and you've cultivated into your own peace. It's really almost impossible to go back out into this world under any circumstances and just try to live by all that other crap. So anyway, I think we should just be present. We should be present, take chances, enjoy it, leap of faith. Know that the story is written. God's already done it, and our spirit team and God, they're gonna make it happen. We have to really want it. We have to really call it in and do it. And that's all. We can't go home. We can't. Some logical part of me knows that, and then this other part of me still is like, if I could just get in that home, I'd feel safe again. I'd feel safe and at home again, even though I know it doesn't look the same. They're tearing it apart, changing it, updating it. Ooh. So I don't know. Find your lighthouse, make your lighthouse, be your lighthouse. Hey, beautiful birdie. Saw 2 birds at my house today too. They were like trying to fight over probably a worm, I don't know, something in the ground. I want to see the birdie. Did you see the birdie? Right there. I don't know, because I can't see. But that's all. And peace and love, and find your home and your peace, and make it and cultivate it and call it in, and be your own safe harbor. And if you can, not at the expense of yourself, be others. Take a deep breath, be present, respond from love. Sometimes that's no response at all. Most of the time, really. Let people be who they are. We don't have to push it and change it, which is ironic because I'm telling you how to be. Firm believer, the Bible also tells us how to be, but we spend all our time telling everybody else to be like the Bible instead of us being like the Bible, which sets the example. Then there's the domino effect once everyone becomes aware. So we got to work harder at that. But okay, peace and love, everybody, and good luck.